Hello YouTube, this is Necrofear331 with a deck update for the next format. This is one of the decks I'm going to be playing mostly for fun because I'm not going to be playing competitively this format because I absolutely hate the ban list, hate the top decks, and hate everything that's happening in this game. So decided to sit this one out for a little while and hopefully in September things get fixed. If not, I'll be selling all my cards. Anyways, this is my Nurse Reficule deck for March 2012. Some pretty major changes, as well as the fact that I will be abusing the fact that I can use two Marshmallons in my deck. So I've definitely done that, and consistency has improved with this deck. Still tweaking it. I decided to make this deck kind of like an anti-meta variant, because I hate this format that much. Anyways, we got our three Nurse Reficule, the fallen ones. Pretty standard card in there. Obviously, it sets the ball rolling. For those of you who don't know, its effect is any effect that would cause your opponent to gain life points instead inflicts the same amount of damage to your opponent. It's just a monster bad reaction smoochie. That's basically all it is. It adds a little more consistency. The whole reverse burn, which is kind of what the deck's called. Anyways. Then we have our one Metio and the Time Lord. I've been testing with two. I actually prefer it just at one. With certain search cards and whatnot, it's not that difficult to draw into it or add it to your hand. So I don't really see the need for two, but if you like two, that's fine. Then we got two Lava Golems. This deals with a lot of the problem cards of this format, particularly Dino Rabbit. When they drop, they derp their Laggy and Dolka on the field and they think they have you. You sack those two obnoxious cards, and then you and laugh at them when you set your Marshmallon. Anyways, then we have two Marshmallons, like I was saying before. Really cool card. Gets a little damage in there, as well as being indestructible. Then we got three Battle Faders. Pretty standard. Keeps you from getting ulti-K'd, etc., etc., etc. Then we have two Spirit Reaper. This kind of anti-meta stuff. This does pretty well against Dino Rabbit. I know they're running Smashing Grounds now, but still pretty good, especially if they don't draw into their Smashing Grounds. So I like the additional stall. And then we got one Sangang. This actually searches out pretty much every monster in this deck, in my particular deck, except for two. So yeah, really good, and it also gets you your Metio Time Lord to reset things. Anyways, we got one Dark Arm Dragon. This is kind of an alternate win condition just in case your burn isn't working. If they were able to draw into a lot of mystical space typhoons, whatever the case may be, you can still rely on a decent boss monster to beat up your opponent. Then this is my tech choice. I might not be keeping it in this deck. I'm just testing it. It's been working alright on Dual Network, but anyways, it's Neospatian Grandmal. You can bounce, stuff that's annoying you, Dolkas, whatever. Just get rid of them. Just say bye. And then we got two Mystic Tomatoes. This will search out Spirit Reapers, and it can also search out your Nurse Reficules. For spells, this a little bit different. I actually added a couple new spells to the lineup, and the ones that I added were Darkhold, Monster Reborn. These cards are just too good to ignore, and honestly, even in a burn deck, they have their uses. This allows synchro options, because I don't run any tuners in my particular build, so you can steal one of their tuners. And this just blows up shit. That's nice. And then we got three Pot of Duality for search, for consistency's sake. Three Upstart Goblin works great with Nurse and gets you a free draw. And then two Soul Takers. These act as your Smashing Grounds while also doing some burn damage, which is pretty nice. So that's the spell lineup, and now the traps. I've mixed up the traps quite a bit. They're a lot different than they were. I no longer have any chainable traps. I was running Secret Barrel, and let me check. I was running these in my last format's build. This is two Secret Barrel, one Ceasefire, and one Icy Crevice. But they've clogged my hand too much, and they just don't do enough for me. So I decided not to run them this format. But anyways, for my trap lineup, we got 1 Starlight Road, 2 Dimension Walls, might be taking those out, 2 Magic Cylinders, Solemn Judgment, Dark Bribe, 3 Gift Cards, and 3 Bad Reaction. Might be getting rid of Dimension Wall for Fiendish Chain, because Fiendish Chain is just so good that even in a burn deck, I think it has a pretty decent purpose. So, might be testing Fiendish Chains in there. Side deck, I don't really have a side deck totally built yet, but it'll probably be fairly standard cards in it, so the only thing that I know for sure that's going to be in it is 3 Vulcan Source. This can get rid of Lagia, because Lagia is freaking obnoxious. Also considering putting Creedon in the side deck, or maybe the main deck, I'm not sure. If I take out Granmule, it'll probably be for this. So, yeah, that's it. That's the whole deck. Oh, actually there's extra deck. You don't really use the extra deck unless you're monster boarding stuff, especially the synchros. You can't use them at all unless you're monster boarding, but the Exige monsters you can sometimes do, so I decided to, have them in there anyways. So we got 1 Roach, 1 Utopia Ray, 1 Utopia, 1 Zen Mines, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 number 34 Terabyte, 1 Leviair, 1 number 20 Giga Brilliant, Granosaurus. Granosaurus actually kind of fits the theme a little bit because it's burn stuff, but yeah. 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Dark End Dragon, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Brionac, and 1 Catastor. Again, you're probably not going to be using the extra deck all that much. Like, I very rarely get anything besides like a rank 3 on the field. I'll occasionally get Zen Mines on the field whenever, when I have Spirit Reaper and Marshmallow on the field or something, but I really don't go into Xyz at all. Like, I mean, rank 4s are even hard for this deck because the only level 4s you're running are Nurse and Tomato. So, the extra deck isn't really helpful, but the main deck, that's what it's all about. Anyways, so that's my first new deck profile for the new format. I also have a 6 Samurai deck completed for the next format, and I've also adjusted. I actually got rid of my Ice Barrier deck because without Trishula, they've lost a lot of power. They've lost most of their consistency, and they lost their power boss monster. So without Trishula, the deck's kind of useless, so I'm probably going to take it apart. So if you guys need anything for an Ice Barrier deck, feel free to leave comments about that. Anyways, that's all for this deck profile. I will have a trade binder update hopefully after this video is done uploading. So feel free to look at it up. I did get first edition wind-up rabbit recently in a trade, so if you guys are looking for that, hit me with some trade offers. There's tons of stuff I'm looking for, and even though I know rabbit's worth a lot, I don't really care much about the card. I'm not running the deck, so if you guys really want it, feel free to make any offers. Make sure they're decent offers, though. I'm not stupid, again. I know what it's worth. Anyways, this is Necrofear331 signing.